Semi-aquatics are just better. Here's why. Deinosuchus, Deinocheirus, Beipi, Austroraptor, Herrera, Spinosaurus, Baryonyx, Suchomimus, and Minmi. Hopefully that's all of them. If I did miss one out or something, let me know down below, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. So we start off with the positives and then we'll get onto the negatives. So why are semi-aquatics better? Well, in my opinion, there's just more diversity with them, a lot more fun to be had. More to explore is what I'm trying to say. It's pretty obvious you can be inside water and on land, so just simply that puts you above a lot of the other playables. And right now it might be a bit dry with just Deinosuchus, Beipi and Herrera being in the game. And by the way, I do know Herrera is not really a full semi-aquatic. I only included it on this list because, well, it can eat fish and yes, it can dive and swim a little, just not as much as Beipi or Deinosuchus. As for Deino and Beipi, you got literally something humongous like Deino and something so small like Beipi. Beipi being a bit of a more calm playable, where you can, I guess, beat up other juveniles if you want to. But generally speaking, you're there to just have some fun, chill, and just be really cute with huge claws. Deinosuchus, on the other hand, yes, it's a bit more difficult now to play in Gateway comparing to the old map Spiral, but for those that love playing it, it's a joy. It might be harder and more challenging to grow, more now than ever. But with T-Rex now in Hall Test and soon to come to the game as well, there's at least something else to kind of recreate this. Which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get to see this at some point in real life. Or, well, in the game, not in real life. I don't want to see any Deinosuchus in my river. Anyhow, a lot more to explore with all these deep rivers that they've got around Gateway and swamps, with probably them being revamped as time goes on, as everything does with the map. If you've been playing Hall Test, you know the map is very different now, and I'm sure when they start adding more semi-aquatics like Baryonyx being the next one and Austroraptor, and then Spinosaurus down the line being an apex, they'll probably completely revamp the river systems, making them a lot more of a fun place to be and exploring. Hopefully they add some cool things in the water for you to see. I don't mean like any wreckages or anything like that, even though that would be cool. But maybe some sunken buildings, something that'll go in with the lore, I don't know, but that'll be pretty cool. There's even more ways to experience the game, because of course you can be inland and on waters, so you kind of have that choice of, do I want to spend more time in water, fend off other predators there, or do I want to go on land and fend off other predators there? Deinosuchus is a little bit different, and I think it will be the only one. This is just my opinion, of course, at the moment, but I do feel like Deinosuchus will be the only one that'll be quite constrained to the water. As you know, you can't be out of water for too long until you start dehydrating. Other semi-aquatics, I believe, will probably be able to spend a lot more time out of water, but dehydration will probably still be something that they would have to manage a little bit more than your land predators and herbivores. So that gives you a nice challenge. For example, if you're a Spinosaurus, you'll be able to fight other Spinosaurids, T-Rex. On land, if you choose to be a more land-dwelling dinosaur, or if you want to go into the waters, you have Deinosuchus to fend off, giving you that extra spice. You could say in some ways it might be even harder to play semi-aquatics because you have danger wherever you go, because you will need to be in water at some point to replenish, and you'll be able to swim around too in the depths. It will always give you that challenge of when you just about get into water, are you going to see another big predator waiting for you? And you'll of course be able to kind of stalk your prey as it kind of comes near to the water, that you can just jump on it or surprise it, kind of like Deinosuchus right now. And I personally absolutely loved playing Deinosuchus back in Spiral. Now not so much. I will definitely get back into it sometime, probably when this version of Hall Test comes to the main branch. I'll give Deinosuchus a go again, because I haven't really played it for quite a long time, and I do miss it because it was always fun and it was very different to playing anything else. Yes, you got T-Rex, you got Omniraptor, you got even Cerato, Kano, and so much more they can experience on land. But at the end of the day, even though they can all be played in unique ways, because Evrima is quite good at doing that, it still will always be the same kind of thing. With Deinosuchus, you can at least kind of stalk your prey, and when the time is right, you can strike. And there's almost no better feeling than being a Deinosuchus and actually being able to catch your prey. That's if the game doesn't mess you up, obviously, because we all know the theisle likes to do that. Because when you're a T-Rex, you just have to worry about not being seen before you catch something. When you're a Deinosuchus, it's the same thing, but of course it's a lot more rare. You have to be in the right spot as well, because now you've got river systems across the entire map. You've even got little patches of water, so realistically speaking, no one has to go where Deinosuchus is. But if you're a new player and you just don't know, or maybe you just want to cross, and you're just too lazy to go around, you might be in the jaws of a Deinosuchus. And when you're going to have other big playables like Spinosaurus, you have that to worry about. It won't be just the battles inside the water, but you having to fear as a land dweller what will come out of that water. And that to me, I just can't wait. Especially obviously Spinosaurus is my favorite playable. It's my favorite dinosaur, should I say. So I literally can't wait for that to actually come to the game. There's fishing as well, so different ways for you to kind of hunt or get AI. Like this little clip here from years ago when you see Suchomimus kind of fishing around for fish. This will be something that will come to the game eventually as well. So this adds also another layer to play, so you don't have to just be in water hunting AI, which by the way I hope they add more diverse AI in the waters too. But you won't just be like Deinosuchus going around, there's a fish, let me go catch it. You'll be able to actually be a semi-aquatic that's on land, looking into the water, waiting for the fish to come to you, maybe with some sonar or something like that. Maybe you can create some ripples to make fish come to you, and then you'll be able to snatch it, which would be pretty cool. So there's a lot more different play styles. That's what I'd like to add with semi-aquatics. You can literally play a bit like a land dweller, or you can play more like a Deinosuchus is, right? You got Baryonyx, which is obviously one of the smaller ones here that still packs a punch and quite heavy bleed by the looks of it. Suchomimus being an even bigger version of that, probably a bit slower but a lot more tougher. And then you have your more interesting larger scale Deinocheirus as well, which I personally can't wait to see it come into the game. It's just quite unique looking, like some big fat sloth that's a duck at the same time, just with leaves hanging around its neck because it's just in the swampy areas, with giant claws and powerful arms. So you just don't want to kind of mess with it, right? You have Minmi, which would be like some little fat herbivore, or I don't actually know, is Minmi a herbivore or an omnivore? Let me know down below, because I don't actually quite remember what it is, but I know it is also a plant eater at least. But you have obviously Minmi being all cute and fluffy in a sense, just waddling around in the water, swimming around, probably getting abused by everything else. But at the same time, I kind of feel like no one will kind of attack it because it's just gonna be that cute. And then of course you have probably the king of the waters alongside Deinosuchus and Deinocheirus, that being Spinosaurus. These will be the three big hitters of the water world. People of course like to fight saying Deinosuchus will win almost all the time or Spinosaurus will win almost all the time. We'll never know until it actually comes in the game. I feel like it'll be quite a good battle, as there are these images here already where Spino is just abusing Deinosuchus. But of course, don't fear. I'm pretty sure Deinosuchus will be able to flip that around as well and have Spino in his jaws as well. And Deinocheirus will probably be the mediator right there. Like, I feel like it'll be tougher than Spino, stronger. Maybe Spinosaurus will have different ways to combat it. I'm not quite sure. In my head, it's kind of a tough battle between those two. I don't really know who would win. I feel like Deinocheirus will just have more health and thicker skin, let's say. But Spinosaurus will just have better attacks, maybe. Or maybe they'll just kind of grapple each other. Kind of like Trike on Trike or Trike on Rex. You get what I'm saying, hopefully. Negatives? I don't really think there are many negatives because, yeah, I think the only negative really is you're more constrained to the water. Like, I'm pretty sure every single semi-aquatic, excluding Herrera, and maybe one or two other ones, like maybe Austroraptor as well, but all the other ones like Spinosaurus, Deinocheirus, Beipiaosaurus, Baryonyx, Suchomimus, Deinosuchus, and maybe even Minmi will all need to spend more time in water. Will it be as long as Deinosuchus? I don't think so. Like I mentioned earlier on, I think Deinosuchus will be the only one that's gonna actually need to be in water most of its life, right? The other ones, I think it might be a 60-40, 60 in water, 40 out on land, or maybe even 60 on land and 40 in water, percentage wise. But of course, with so many water sources, I don't think that'll be much of a problem. But let me know what you guys think. I personally think semi-aquatics are definitely the way forward in the game. I think it's something that we're still lacking and missing in the game. So it's nice to see that we've got 3 upcoming semi-aquatics, probably ones that are more semi-aquatic than others, but it's really good to see. And apart from what we know is coming, Spinosaurus, Austroraptor and Baryonyx, what would you like to see come after that? This is the list here on the screen, of course, in case you don't remember. But yeah, and of course, if you disagree with me, feel free to tell me why down below. Just don't be a penis about it. And apart from that, you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.